not get discouraged at the fact that you have big dreams. Do not get discouraged at the fact that you want to do more with your life, you want to do more with your time, you want better for your family, and you want a life of more abundance. I do not be ashamed of that. Do not be afraid of that, because that is a part of human nature. You want to have those things. You want to be those things. You want to be better. You want to be bigger. You want to live bigger. Like, that's not a problem. Don't let people tell you that you are being too greedy. You're being too ambitious. You're being too obsessive. You have to be obsessed with the goal in order to make a goal happen. I don't care what you do. Obsession has to be a part of the goal. Because if you're not obsessed with the thing that you're doing,
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again.
mad, just mad,
invigorated, just
invigorated. No, infuriated.
Infuriated. One of them words. English.
Pissed, just straight pissed. Just God damn it. Man. First of all, it is 4:30 p.m. The times that we be doing podcasts early, 4:30 a.m. It's 4:30 p.m. this time. The sun has long been up, and it has been a long day for the both of us. Emotionally taxing day on my end. I'm glad you were able to stay at home and at least deal with some stuff that you can control. At least, like, it's been a little bit of a foul ball, just chasing foul balls all day, man. It's crazy, dog.
I bet. For those listening and for those watching, we've kind of been beating ourselves up before we start this podcast. But before we get real deep into it, I get work. Work was pretty crazy.
Ain't about to talk about work, man. Fuck that.
All right. So bump work. Y'all don't get the stories
fuck
of work.
That. No. We all for that. It's like this conversation, like, for real. Oh boy, this conversation, man, is brought to you by two people who we strive to be better. And in the process of addressing the elephant, bruh. In the process of addressing the elephant, we got to talk about our own elephant. We eat our own cooking over here, bruh. And I want to make it clear, like, I ain't never said we were perfect. I'm being real. Like, we human. We bleed red, shit brown. I don't know how you want to take that, but like, we are human beings. We're like 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 ears. Like, that's how, like, we built just like everybody else are. Like, but even though we had different mindsets, we still struggle with things sometimes. Like, and that's what we are here to talk about today, because we realize that we haven't been on the rise the way we should be on the rise, in a sense of we haven't done the amount of work that we should be doing. And we definitely, like, I believe, in my personal opinion, that this podcast should be more represented in culture and today's culture than it actually is. Like that's my I don't care if you call it opinion, but that's my truth. Like I feel that. Like that like this is a groundbreaking podcast. Like we breaking ground. Like it ain't too many people out here talking about what we talking about and being in the place that we are. Like it ain't too many people out here that you're gonna find that's more realistic and genuine than Market Mac and talking about the things that we talking about. Like I really do feel like that there's not a lot of people out here talking about the struggle because with the day and age these podcasts or these the social media trends right now is to show sexy. Like that's all we own right now is showing sexy on social media. And I'm just being real. Like I don't post nothing on social media because there ain't really too much going on. Like unless you just want to see me up every day at 3 o'clock in the morning working at working on something. Um, I mean, I can go ahead and post a selfie every single day of me getting up every morning at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and sitting in front of my computer. I don't think that I really just don't think people want to see that. So I don't think you're gonna find a more genuine podcast than this. And I'm on a rant right now and on the tirade because like I really do feel like it's my own fault that I haven't been putting the podcast out the way it should the way it should have been. And I ain't gonna blame nobody but me.
Mm. And you know, I can't blame anybody but myself. And I like how you put that, like everybody wants to post sexy or post the success. Like if you ever follow, real estate agent or whatever, they always posting, just sold this house, just just landed a deal with such and such client.
I'm just trying to figure out, bro, why ain't nobody posting the fact that they got that they out here taking a bite out of the block of oodles and noodles because they ain't got no electricity, bro.
Oh yeah,
Like why
yeah,
we ain't not showing that?
I heard that. I heard that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to know like why people ain't showing the fact that they running out of gas because they in the middle of the grind, bro. They ain't
Mm-hmm.
got the money and they in between jobs, they in between paychecks. I'm just trying to figure out why people ain't showing that. And regardless, like I ain't I ain't trying to show all of that. Like for real, like I feel like that's a little intimate, and I just feel like I'm working. Like the reason I'm not posting anything because I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
Like people be like, yo, I didn't even know you were working on that. Oh, y'all still doing the podcast? Yeah, we still doing the podcast. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, we on episode 160. Oh, what? Really? I'm like, bro, come on now. Like, yo, you know me, you know who I am. Like, but I feel like that's my own fault too, because I ain't like necessarily throwing it in people's face like that either.
Mm.
Ain't
Uh.
nobody showing the fact that they getting phone calls from their significant other in the middle of their perfect podcast.
Big facts.
You should probably cut that part out though, but that question that's a we can keep that part in. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Up
Um,
until this point, everything
yeah, yeah,
before you
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
said the significant other part is getting cut.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because I think that's kind of funny. But anyway, I just man, like for real, y'all. I've been I've been having a bit of a conundrum with my current life right now, and it's been hell. Like if I'm being honest, like it's been really chaotic, dog. Um, and I try not to go here because I don't like to talk about the problems. Only thing I'm trying to figure out is the solution to it. Like I really don't like talking to like the whole woe is me thing, the man ain't nothing going right thing, man. But like today was like the nail in the coffin, bruh. And I don't like the fact that I'm not able to do the things that I said I was gonna do, especially when it pertains to Alyssa.
Mm.
Like the girl is a hard worker. She's almost like the genius level type of thinker, and like I feel like she could offer the world so much more, but because because like me personally, like I don't know how other dudes feel. Like other dudes can like I don't know, like you can look at your girl and your girl can cry about being in the situation that she in and can complain about it and like I literally saw Alyssa in tears today because of what happened to her on the job and she told me like she's been crying. She when she talked to me, she had said she'd been crying for a while, like
Mm-hmm.
a few hours. And I'm like, yo, like that's not good. Like we talking somebody who's always bubbly, always has a radiant personality, and always has a contagious smile. And for whatever reason, like this situation at work, it hit her the wrong way, and she'd been emotional all day long, bruh. And we not in the spot right now for corporate America to be tripping. Like I'm just being real. Like right now, like we talking about getting married. We got a wedding coming up. We talking about her getting off birth control so we can start having kids next year, dog. Like so the pressure is on right now. So I'm like looking at everything in life like, yo, I need stuff. I need these puzzle pieces to start falling in line because like if it don't start clicking right now, I'm thinking back to my man last week with the nobody with no plan telling me that yo once you had kids, man, life just stops, man. Life just doesn't move at that point, man. Like I don't know how you can succeed when you have kids, man. They're just so expensive. So I'm like, yo, with that being the stigma of my current reality of the area that I'm in, because like let's be real, most people in this area, bro, they feel like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
they really
Yeah.
do think the way that he does. It's literally a region wide phenomenon right now where people who really feel like once you have a child, it's you're done. Like that's it. It's game over. Like you see people from other places, they come here and they see that and they're like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, bro? Like that's not a thing. Like yo, you talking about having kids at like the age of 20 something and getting married by getting married before you're out of high school. Like yo, that's foreign to most people. Like but somebody with goals, you talking to somebody with goals, they like yo, I ain't trying to do all that. Like you can leave me out. I'll do it when I'm 30, bro. Like but in my 20s, I'm trying to grind out. And for real, like I'm at a place right now. Like yo, I got a birthday coming up, man, and like I don't, I'm to a point where I don't even want to think about it, bruh. Alyssa mom reached out to her talk about she wanted to like celebrate my birthday and and get us involved in like a celebration or something like
Mm-hmm.
with some other folks, yo. I was like, yo, like I'm about to call her and cuss her out.
Jesus.
Like I'm dead serious, bro. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, like life right now. I I ain't I'm and I ain't trying to say that to like seem like I'm just like being what's the word I'm looking at? What's the word I'm trying to say?
Cynical.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be cynical. I ain't saying none of that to say that, just to be for the sake of complaining. I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying all of that because when you ask me why why am I perceived to be going so hard, going so fast and moving so fast and making all of these different moves, that's why. That's my answer right there. Cause I got a lot of things riding on this, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And a big part of that, uh, of realizing that is being able to be truthful with yourself. Like you know that with your significant other, with your legacy, on the line, on the stakes, like
I'm talking about hanging by a pinky, bro.
you see that and you want to put everything into high gear, put everything into that 10th gear and just like grind it out. uh but
I love how you use 10th gear.
eh,
I ain't gonna talk about that. I love that. I love that. I love it. I love it.
you, you got to take the time out to hash out the minor things, because the
Mm-hmm.
minor things is what's gonna build that snowball and get that ball rolling into your 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 massive dream. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
gonna make things happen is those small little hits here and there.
Yeah.
And being able to self-assess is really key, because that's basically what we did. That's basically how this episode got started, is
Mm-hmm.
because
That's why
we
we doing it at 4:30 p.m. on a Wednesday instead of 4:30 a.m. on a Thursday, which which we would normally be doing.
hmm
So yeah. So yeah,
you
you're
know it's
right about that.
serious. Yeah.
You know
Um
we serious.
uh because everyone goes through it, and I like how you mentioned the kid, because that's the stigma that you have a kid, it's all over. That's why we have you know grandmas raising their grandkids. That's why we have adults that have kids, just dropping them off somewhere with their auntie, and then trying to, I guess, either work on their dreams or still trying to live that party lifestyle that they hold so dear, instead of trying to all right, realize, hey, I have a kid. Okay, uh he's gonna take, or she's gonna take up a portion of my day, a portion of my focus.
Right.
Let me give them this time. Then in their downtime, where they're napping or whatever, or when you do have to drop them off for whatever reason, however you set it up, you spend the rest of your time working, grinding, and
Mm-hmm.
being that successful entrepreneur. you
Mm-hmm.
know i I'm gonna keep reminding y'all that there is a full-time game developer with 6 kids, married, and he out here living his
Living
best
his
life.
best life.
So kids ain't an excuse.
Mm. Hey, like it's people with worse situations than you doing what things
10
way
times
better than
better.
you, and
10
yet
times better.
you still using it as excuses. Like it don't make sense to me. It don't register to me. Like you just you're looking for built-in excuses. Like for what?
So you can have something to say that I tried, but this excuse came up, so I can't be successful. Something's always in my way. Okay, something's always in everybody's way.
Everybody's way.
They figure it out, they work through it, on to the next one. Obstacles is a part of life. Like, I don't know why we thought that our dreams, our goals, it was gonna be a straight line to them. No, it's gonna be a zigzag. It's gonna be hills. Yeah, there might be tunnels you got to make to figure out your goal or dream or whatever. It's a journey. It's all about the journey. If you have a goal and it comes easy to you, is it is it really a goal? Was it really worth it?
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Like was it even worth it at the end?
It's just like you're on a treadmill and you've done it. Just like we've talked about, you've done whatever you need to receive that goal, and you haven't moved nowhere. It's like you fabricated this goal, or you made this goal seem so easy that at the end it amounts to nothing.
Right, right. And I didn't think you were going to actually use that treadmill example. But that pissed me off earlier, right? That's why I started the podcast off pissed, cause
Mm.
like for real, bro, life,
Mm.
yo, it ain't like I feel like we've been doing a lot, dog.
We have,
Like
we have.
we dog, ma,
This
it'll
would
be
be
3 years that we started this podcast in 3 months, bro, or 4 months, yeah. In December the 12th, it'll be
mm,
we be on our 3 years of doing this podcast, dog. And from the beginning, like I even went back and listened to it from the beginning, dog. And we had a lot of promise. We
mhm.
made like we set a lot of goals for ourselves, and for the most part, like we've been knocking it out the park for people who ain't never been into these realms that we walking into right now. So
Facts.
like I'm not even about to diminish the things that we've done, like cause I ain't about to sit here and say that we ain't winning. I can't say that. But you said something earlier that I want to touch, right? like you said something about small wins. I don't remember exactly what you said, or like like the small accomplishments. Like
Mm,
I feel like the small accomplishments are like the standard work that we talked about on the standard working
ooh,
episode. I
mm-hmm.
don't know if you guys can remember that conversation that we had way back when. I don't even remember what episode that was, but we talked about standard working. Like by basic definition, by standard, you should be making small wins. Like for real, if you wake up every single day, you should be getting small wins. What I'm pissed about is the fact that we've been doing this much work and going this hard. I've been waking up at 4 o'clock every single morning since we started this podcast. I don't think it was a handful of days that I haven't woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Even recently, I started waking up at 3 just so I can get work done before I go into work. And I feel like if we are going to be doing that much, if I'm going to be putting my body through that much hell, bro, I don't even think y'all understand how hard it is to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, get to work, and then have to do 23,000 steps while you at work.
Who? Yep.
Like that's on a slow day. On a slow day, I did 23,000 steps yesterday. And mind you, I was the clerk yesterday, and I did 23,000 steps.
Come on.
Ain't no telling what my partner did. I can't even imagine. And she got shorter legs than me, so I don't even want to think about that. But for real, like I don't even think people understand how hard it is to be in this position, doing what we're doing and getting as much done as we are getting done. What I believe that is a microcosm for everything that you're doing, is how you do anything, it's how you do everything. And I'm feeling like because we are lacking or slacking in this avenue, I feel like it's now boiling over and running over into my book business. And that is the reason why my book business hasn't been picking up the way it has, the way it should be. Because if you're gonna start something and you're gonna do something, you might as well do it to the best of your abilities anyway. So I'm pissed because we doing standard wins right
Mm,
now, and maybe I'm being greedy. You can call it whatever you want, but I feel like with the potential we got right now, and with the things that and the ideas that we have right now, I feel like we could be doing a lot more.
yeah. Yeah. Uh, and that comes to one of the things that I was listening to about how to actually get out of this the funk that we're in. One of the things is to do more. Like uh
Yep.
if you I forget what it was said, but I think it was like minimal doing or something, or minimal wins or something. We to make ourselves feel good about ourselves, we do what we know we can win at. It's kind of like you playing, Super Smash Bros. And the computer is on like 3 or something. It's in the green. But if you really
To
want,
simplify it, a little bit, you stay you stay in the position you are right now because you afraid that if you get a promotion, you had to do more work.
yeah.
Because not everybody understand that Super Smash Brothers reference. We gotta be careful with that, with the references we give. We gotta make it concise for everybody who's listening, because not everybody know what Super Smash Brothers is. But you don't challenge yourself is what he pretty much saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone has that. Everyone has that. They feel like it's kind of like a defensive win. You feel like you're in the slumps, or like you've taken so many L's, so to get back on your high horse, or on your A game, as you would call it, or something, you have this easy win,
Mm.
and somehow you fall into the trap of getting more easy wins. Oh, I know how to do this, so let me. And that's something that I've fallen victim to. Like, I'll get the general knowledge of something, or I feel like I know the bare bones of it, and then I could do that, and then when I fully dive into it, I problems left and right, things I didn't account for. So now I'm just like, All right. And then
Yeah,
I just fall short. Like I
yeah,
tried, I couldn't figure it out, so I tried.
yeah.
But instead of, actually sitting down, learning the bad with the good, learning how to do it and how other mistakes are made,
Mm-hmm.
while working through it, I can succeed.
Yeah, I'm like, you,
Yeah, I'm good. You can go. You good.
okay. Yeah, one of the things I recently learned about myself is kind of
Mm,
the same, but like, I would be doing something like, say I got this one goal, right?
mm,
And it's like you grade, or like, you know how when you on Google Docs and you hit the little bullet point joint, and then it gives you a bullet point, and you start typing, but once you hit enter and then you hit that indent, it give you a bullet point with the hollow joint. So like it's like a bullet within a bullet.
mm,
Like that's how my goals look. That's how my days look when I'm trying to figure something out. So I'll start on one thing,
mm,
and I'll get to working on it. And then I realize while I'm working on that one thing that there's another issue that I need to work on. So I stop doing that one thing, go work on that issue, and then I'll come across the issue within that issue and start on another thing. Then I work on another thing, and then I got an issue within that issue. Now I'm on the issue number 4, and by the time I get to number 4, I done forgot what number 1 is, and I
mm.
don't get nothing done.
Rabbit hole.
But for real, like, and it's a rabbit hole. But when
Mm,
you in the process of it, Mike, it don't look like a rabbit hole because you still getting stuff done. And it's not like you getting deeper into, and like most things, let's be real. Most things, it's not like you're coming across problems that can't be corrected later.
mm,
You can come back to it. But because you just separated yourself from the original goal, now you just started on a whole bunch of different things, and now you ain't getting nothing done because now you got like 4 or 5, maybe 6 projects in the works at the same exact time.
mm. And then you get overwhelmed, you get burnt out,
Exactly.
a number of things.
And you get to a point where you got so much stuff going on at one time that now when you just sit down and be productive, you don't even know what to work on.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, what would be a thing to, kind of keep your focus? Like, what do you think that a person would need to keep them focused? Like a detailed planner, like
Alyssa,
a li-
it just need Alyssa. Whatever magic she worked to keep herself in check, bro. I don't know what it is, dog.
mm,
Yeah, but nah, like for real, we gonna work on something, man. Cause like this thing is getting too out of hand, dog.
mm,
Like I got notebook on top of notebook of things that need to be done, dog, and it's just like that rabbit hole thing just keep multiplying, man. And
mm,
it's a rabbit hole that keep multiplying with other rabbit holes, and they multiplying like rabbits. Like it's just it's becoming a serious issue. And so like we about to create something, man. Like this situation here is about to breed something. It's about to breed a product that we're gonna be able to use, that we're gonna be able to capitalize on, bro. Cause like I swear to God, man, like this it's horrible. Like I feel like, and the reason I say that because I'm not a list person.
mm,
Like if anybody has ever read my assessment, you know I don't do lists. Like I don't do structure, I don't do organization, I don't create that. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword because though I'm good at creating the systems, I'm not good at maintaining them.
mm,
So when I create them, if somebody ain't around to catch that bad boy, it's lost. So I get to a point where I'll create something. I'm like, yo, here's what we gonna do. And I tell Marcus all the time. I see my boy getting glazed over all the time. But I'm just pounding him with ideas all the time. Every week I pound this man with information and all of these different things, but there's nobody there to catch that stuff and actually build it.
mm,
So there has to be a system put in place if you're going, and if you're a visionary type person, you need to get align yourself with people who are able to do like rev.com and transcribe the things that you saying, because if it never gets written down, and it never get you don't give it to a person that's like a Marcus who loves stability, or who focuses on stability and structure, or somebody like Alyssa who focuses on following the rules and building the list. If you never give it to people like that, then they'll never get it's just lost. So I would say writing a list down and keeping those things, get a to-do list. I don't care if you don't do lists, because I don't do lists, but I got a list right here in front of me. I done wrote some stuff down from the conversation we had, and I gotta figure out how to get that stuff done, man.
Yeah. Uh, so basically, with all that being said, it basically boils down to, find your checks and balances. Find whatever balance you, and find the checks needed to uh get you through your goal. Uh, a lot of people are, you know, everyone has the same type of mentality as
Hmm.
me or Mac. There's people out there that get scatterbrained. They have a million and one ideas, and but they don't have the systems in place to uh
Hmm.
put all that into a structured, detailed plan.
Hmm.
And then you do have your people that they know how to make the systems, they know how to make the plans, but they don't have the idea process, or they don't know where to start first. you know
Yeah.
and you just need to find the what balance you out.
And there's tools for each person to have the other skill. Like
Mm-hmm.
let's not mess around with it. Like I'm pretty sure there's apps out there. Maybe I haven't found the right one to keep me in check as it pertains to the things that I'm coming up with. Like there has to be something out there for that.
Right.
And there has to be something that helps people who are structure based with the vision part, because there's also another thing is that people with structure usually don't have that foresight for division thing. So like it's not to say that those tools don't exist for those individuals. It's just better to align yourself with somebody who knows how to do that, who's born like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that you are inadequate because you can't do it. So
I
feel like I
mean,
had to add that in there.
but it goes back to what we've been saying. No one's an island, so you
Hmm.
need to either find your person or thing or system or book
Hmm.
or product or service, whatever you need to accomplish your goals. That's what we're
Yeah.
doing right now. We're trying to provide this service, and later down the road, more services and books, to
Yeah.
help you guys out with that, with uh putting what you need in your getting what you have in your head, putting it in
Down on paper.
reality, or
Yeah.
putting it
Yeah.
on paper. Yes. um
Yeah.
it's a growing process. It's a journey. That's what this is. That's what many of our episodes is about. It's about the journey and being better than what you were yesterday. Like we said before, little wins, they do go a long way, but make sure that your wins are actually, you know, going towards your goal, not just something you feel like you needed a pick me up. So you made a goal to, you know, jog 2 miles today or something like that. Something you can accomplish. Challenge yourself. Get out of your comfort zone and do something you haven't done before. Or don't be afraid to dive into the, you know, marketing aspect of your career, or the product making side of your career, or whatever side of your career that you feel fearful of going into. Don't be afraid, because there's many systems, many people to help you along the way. We're one of them.
I'm just sitting here trying to figure out like what is the hang up when it comes to when it comes to actually doing these things, like I can't even think of a real reason as to why we don't do it,
Uh,
other than the fact that we just don't see it or don't, or we just don't recognize the vision or the I don't know what it is, bro. Like I don't even have a legitimate reason.
two things that I think it is, and it's all mental based. One is the stigma of, you know, of marketing, of, you know, the things that we're getting hung up on is that it's dreadful. It's, you know, something that people don't like to do for some strange reason. There's some people out there that love it. They love to crunch the numbers. They love to, you know, dive straight into it. But most of the podcasts and videos that I've listened to, they always start with, all right, you know, this is something about marketing. Yes, I know this is very dreadful. This is scary. This is, you know, whatever. A lot of podcasts start out like that. And I'm just like, why is the stigma for marketing, you know, something that's taboo or something like that?
Yeah,
And then the other thing is it's it's what we've taught. Well, you know, it just kind of goes along with the stigma. It's kind of like what we said about kids. You know, the stigma for kids is, oh, they're expensive, or, you know, we've seen from generation of generation, the grandma raises the grandson, or, you know,
mm,
other people raise the son of whoever, or the,
yeah,
you know, the kid. Um, and it's something that you have to push through because it's the social norm, because it's taboo. You have to make it untaboo. You have to make it your norm.
mm.
That's how I feel about
Wow, bro, it's wild.
it. It's a real wild
So
concept.
just going to throw some practicality out here, bro. Cause like there's somebody listening to this episode and they're asking like how if I'm going through that, like how do I know I'm the one who y'all talking to? A little self-assessing is necessary. Like
Mm-hmm.
you gonna have to hit that. Like you gonna have to look in the mirror and say like I'm not as good as I think I am.
Mm-hmm.
This conversation wasn't brought on because somebody told us that we weren't doing something, or somebody told us that we were doing something wrong.
Right.
This conversation happened because I was just like, all right, we could be doing better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be that as it may, like we could be doing better. Like we have success happening, but there's things that we should have gone through
Mm-hmm.
at this point that we haven't gone through yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we should have. So we need to discuss why it's not happening. So be realistic with yourself and what you're doing, and just realize like if you're busy doing a whole bunch of stuff and you're not getting anywhere, then just know that there's something wrong with the process, or maybe you're not doing the things that or maybe you're not doing profit producing activity.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was once on a shut up and write call back when we were doing it virtually, and there was a woman there who was like, I think I want to go boss or false with this one, because it was about 8 or 9 of us on the joint,
Uh-huh.
and shut up and write before we actually start the timer and send everybody and let everybody write or whatever. We talk about what we're writing or what we're working on during the meeting.
Okay.
And one lady was just like, "Yeah, I'm not necessarily writing anything. I'm just responding to students' emails." She was like a teacher or something, but she was also writing a novel or something, or some kind of self help book or novel.
Mm.
I don't know what she was writing actually. It's like a book or something. Um, but once we got to the end and it got back around to this lady, she was telling us that she worked on her students' emails. She responded to all of her students' emails, and then she said something about writer's block. And then another lady came on, and she was a bit older. She'd been writing for a while, and she
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Yeah, so like I could like." And I wanted to touch what she said about the writer's block thing. I used to be the one that would, procrastinate and do stupid stuff like read emails. Not to say that your emails are stupid. Your students are important, but like there's a time and a place for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So what I learned from that situation, like, hold up, first of all, I'm gonna go like, is that a boss or a false move to be in like a public setting and call with somebody else doing this, like calling what they do stupid? Because it's not productive
I mean,
enough.
I mean, she want to teach it, but I mean, no, she wasn't, the person hosting, or she's not the person that has to be in that professional setting. Uh, but
I gotta agree with her though. Like, it's a
yeah,
time and a place for everything though.
I would have to call that a boss move. Like, you're here just like anyone else,
Right.
there's systems in place to get over writer's block, I would believe. Uh, and if anything, the imagination is powerful. Like, just go ham,
Trust it.
start something, write something.
Trust it. Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh yeah, I do.
yeah, but like if she got on there and was supposed to be in a writing setting to focus solely on writing, I'm pretty sure those emails could have waited, or you could have at least done them. If you really wanted to do this project, this shut up and write, program or event, you should have taken care of everything. Now I know, things happen, like significant others calling you to tell you about stuff. Stuff happens. Stuff unpredictably happens,
Anyway.
but that could have been controlled.
Anyway.
That could
Um.
have been controlled.
I
Boss
said that
move
to
on a
get
lady.
to a point. Yeah, boss move, right? I said that to get to a point, right? Like we get in these modes where we feel like the things that we are doing is the things that we're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like in business, they tell you all the time, spend 80% of your time with profit producing activity. 80% of your time. So whatever that means, whatever that looks like in your realm, spend 80% of that time with your profit producing activities. Because if you're not making all right, so and then we get to this stigma here when I say that. Time is money. And
Yep.
some people do not have a good relationship with that saying. They think it's negative. They think it's taboo. They think, okay, you just trying to slave me with all this other stuff like that. I don't know what people be thinking, but time is money.
Yep.
So if you're spending your time being busy with stuff, then you need to be trying to spend your time to make money. You don't need to spend your time with a whole bunch of random activity trying to prove to yourself that you can do a whole bunch of things, or just waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do nothing. You don't need to do that. You need to be spending your time with your profit producing activity. We haven't spent enough time with our profit producing activities, and it's the very reason why more of you aren't affected by this podcast, because we haven't been spending enough time with our profit producing activity. So when you're busy doing stuff and you're doing a bunch of unnecessary irrelevant things, you end up like the author who has been writing for 10 years and not releasing anything.
Mm-hmm. And it's a slippery slope. Like, that can lead to a bunch of, regret. You can easily slip into a funk of depression with that, like, because deep down, you know yourself. You think that, all right, just because I'm super busy, I've actually, cut off time with friends to do this
Right,
whatever that doesn't amount to anything. It's not, there's no return value in what you're doing.
right.
So once you get to like this space in your life where you can actually see everything you've done, all the time you've wasted, you're just like, yo, what have I done with my life?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was
And,
busy,
and
yeah, but
and the whole time you thought you were productive.
whole time.
You thought you were doing something. You thought you were getting somewhere. You thought you were making moves.
And in reality, it was just a productive distraction.
The whole time it was it was just a productive
Productive
distraction.
distraction.
You weren't doing productivity things. You weren't being productive with anything. You were just being productive with distracting yourself. And you were making it look like you were you were making it look like you were working because what you were doing was in the industry. Your distraction was in the industry of what you were trying to do.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, you said you wanted to do photography, so you stayed on Pinterest for 5 to 6 to 7 hours a week looking at photography, talking about you getting your inspiration. But in real life, you were just procrastinating when you could have just picked up the camera and just took the pictures yourself and put them on Pinterest.
Big facts. Big facts.
You were reading comic books when you said you wanted to write your own comic book, so you were doing all of this market research
Research.
to try to see what the big thing was,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of drawing your own comics, you were just looking at everybody else's. You thought you were being the a podcast guru, or you wanted to put your message out in the world and you wanted to do podcasts, and you said that if I listen to these other podcasts, then I could learn something and bring it back to our podcast. But you know, you were just
Listen to
listening to
podcasts.
podcasts. You weren't doing nothing with the information. You weren't doing nothing with anything. You were just doing it. It looked productive. At the moment, it looked productive. You spent a lot of time doing it, but at some point, it got to be like Netflix. After you spend but so much time on it, you got to ask yourself like, is did I really do anything?
Mm-hmm. And it it also goes a little bit deeper, because all that kind of reminds me of your faith system. Like you believe that something gonna happen, but have you put in the actual work to
Uh,
bring it to tuition? Like I can hope for $1,000, ten
mm-hmm,
thousand dollars, and yes, working this job, it's gonna get me there. But what about the things I could have done outside of that job?
mm-hmm,
The books I could have sold, the service I
mm-hmm,
could have done, the games I could
mm-hmm.
have made, the the anything that I could have a return value in that would have, topped the pay that I get from my job. I could have gotten to that 10,000 a lot easier.
Right. And
And
I remember we put the check up, and I was just
oh,
listening to
oh
the
yeah.
episode. I was just listening to the episode recently where we first put the check up, bruh. And I remember saying that we were going to do anything and everything possible to get to that point. And I don't even think like when we made that plan,
Mm,
we didn't even talk that whole week.
mm,
Like maybe like when you get to like $1 million, like multi-million-dollar status, like maybe you might have the luxury to not talk to your partner every single day. Maybe, I don't know. We ain't got there yet, but I just know that in our situation, we ain't there.
not at all.
We said we were going to make 100. We said we were going to make $1 million, and bro, we didn't even put in the legwork to even get there yet. So I'm not trying to tell you guys to not make plans because like that you will it's easier to not make plans than to fail at the plans that you make.
Mm,
And I think that's part of the biggest problem there it's easier to not make plans than to fail at the plans that you do make. Because like nobody wants to feel the pain of setting a deadline for something and not making the deadline. It does not feel good to do that.
Not at
So
all.
and I talked to Marcus earlier about our money making potential. The money making potential is there, but once you start talking about the money making potential, you put numbers on it. You put numbers
Mm-hmm.
towards the goal. It makes the goal more realistic. It makes the goal. It highlights the goal a little bit more. So I would say do not get discouraged at the fact that you have big dreams. Do not get discouraged at the fact that you want to do more with your life. You want to do more with your time. You want better for your family, and you want a life of more abundance. I do not be ashamed of that. Do not be afraid of that, because that is a part of human nature. You want to have those things. You want to be those things. You want to be better. You want to be bigger. You want to live bigger. Like that's not a problem. Don't let people tell you that you are being too greedy. You're being too ambitious. You're being too obsessive. You have to be obsessed with the goal in order to make a goal happen. I don't care what you do. Obsession has to be a part of the goal. Because if you're not obsessed with the thing that you're doing, the thing that you're doing does not really, it's not really relevant. So I'm going to suggest that you guys actually focus on the things that you want to do. Actually do the things that's going to make that a reality. Don't do the things that are adjacent to it. Because it's real easy to say that to prioritize the list of things that you need to do, or like me, you do the things that is the most um the profit producing activity, but you come across a little snag in the profit producing activity, like how you would have to reach out to people to get people to listen to you, and then you say, well, this don't look perfect, so let me go work on that instead. And now you're not reaching out to the people who are going to listen to you and the people who are going to feed your family. So focus on the one thing first. Focus on one thing at a time. Take it one step at a time, and do the things that are going to make a difference in your life. And do not be afraid of those things, because it's easy to back down from the things that make us uncomfortable. But powering through that discomfort is what's going to take us to the next level. Today's pain is tomorrow's promise. I want you to take a deep breath and say that in your head. Say it out loud if you want to. I recommend you say it out loud. Today's pain is tomorrow's
Tomorrow's
promise.
promise.
Because without pain, you don't make it anywhere. With no pain, you don't get no gain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running out of time, Mark.
Yes, yes, because we only learn through pain. If something comes easy, then I'm pretty sure down the line, you know, you're gonna forget about it. Like prime example, my car situation. There's been so much going on through that car. Like I've never forgotten what I've been through to get that junk back running to how it's supposed to.
Well,
Yeah.
you better than me. I would have junked that joint a long time ago, bro. You are a lot better than I am.
It's still running. It ain't cost me an arm and a leg yet. So we still hanging in there. It gets me to
Are
point A,
you
point B.
are you calculating for the like the long term? Like you just like,
What with the car?
yeah, the over time, the things that you fixing, it's like 2,000. I ain't trying to run your pockets, man. I ain't doing that, but like never mind, never mind. We ain't gonna go. We ain't gotta go there. I know the struggle, bro. I remember, and I listened to the joint.
Mm.
Um, I said that I was gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, and when the wheels fell off, I was gonna duct tape it back on. And I know now I'm just thinking about
Ride
the
some.
fact. I'm just thinking about the fact that I said that, and then ended up just like, yo, fuck this. I'm tired. It was the fact that I almost got my feet ran over trying to do something underneath the car
Mm.
out in the parking lot of the apartment. That didn't help at all.
Mm. But yeah, people, we're coming up to that hour mark. We just want to just instill into y'all that it's a journey. It's a grueling, painful journey that if you
Mhm.
want to be successful in this world, you have to go through. You're gonna have to do more. You're gonna have to be better. You're gonna have to look at yourself in the mirror and realize that there's still work to be done. Out of everything you've done so far, you have to realize there's
Mhm.
still work that needs to be done.
Mhm.
All righty, Mac, what we got coming up?
We are currently still working on we had the release of the fourth book. I should have those in the mail within the next week or so.
Mm,
Really excited about getting my hands on the first official copy of book 4 of the Arcane and Calamity series.
word.
We are redoing the studio this week to accommodate for another show that we will be posting within the Ascension Podcast Network. Really looking forward to getting another show back in the Ascension Podcast Network, man, because that was the loss of some of our other podcasts kind of look bad on our record, but you know it's all good. We're gonna bring them back. Um, got a meetup in a few minutes that I need to make it to, and looking to expand on that in the near future as well as um, I'm hoping that at some point we'll be able to pull some value add out of the group the meetup group that I've been hosting
Okay.
every other week. We starting to expand in that. So if you're a local writer in the Richmond, Petersburg, Prince George area, we meet up every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. at the Central Library in Chesterfield, Virginia. That is meetup. That is Shut Up and Write Chesterfield division. I am the organizer of that group, and I don't know who this. I don't know who thought that was a good idea to let me host that because I am the least organized person to organize an event, but it works. We meet up every other week, and you know, it's cool. Other than that, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook, and we do have a personal or a shoo God words. We do have a private group on Facebook called Rise to Greatness, and we are looking for new members to help out and consult on certain issues as well as become a um to discuss add value to the podcast in various ways and you know look to help people in their issues as well. So like reach out to us on Facebook at Rise to Greatness. Find the Facebook group. We're on there. So we're looking forward to that. Reaching out, connecting with you guys.
Word. All right. Question: the
So
shut up and write part, the title. Did you make that title, or that's a
I did
part of the?
not. That's a whole organization.
Oh, okay. All right.
They have about 100 and I think it's like 200 some chapters
Mm.
around the U.S. So yeah, that is just something that yeah got involved with.
Okay. All right. I just the title of the it's you. It sounds like you. It sounds like something you would say. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
appreciate that.
Other than that, we do have a book in the works. Another book besides the whole calamity series. Calamity series, or I don't know the name of
You
that book.
talking about Alyssa's book
No, I was
or
or
talking about?
is the resolution book, man.
Oh yeah. Well that we already uh put that out there
Mm.
over New Year's last year, so we don't necessarily have to talk about that. But the resolution, um, smart goals, Resolution Beginner's Guide to Creating Expert Goals is the ebook that we are about to re-release for a second edition, and
Okay.
and yeah, I'm excited about that, man, because this time we're going to actually get it out there and put it in the hands of some capable people who definitely need this ebook. So I'm excited about that.
So stay tuned, people. We're coming up to the final months of this year, and I know we promise a lot. We say a lot. We try to give you guys a lot of information. So just stick with us, because
Hey,
there
I don't care. Like I for real, we still do a free podcast and we still do it faithfully every single week, and with
exactly.
nobody paying us. So we add a lot of value. Even we in the trenches like y'all. So give us a damn break. We figuring it out as we go, man. It's not like we
Most
got
definitely.
like a whole marketing team. What I look like, Amazon?
Big facts. We're just two regular guys trying to
Doing
be two
phenomenal things.
phenomenal things. So alrighty, people.
I gotta go.
This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast with Elephant as always. Welcome, and it's me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
And I feel crushed right now. But peace, love y'all. See y'all next week.